Fractions, decimals, and percents all relate to each other. To help you remember, I'm going to fill in each box below with an example of the process described using one general percent, fraction, and decimal relationship. So first we have a percent to a fraction. So the percent I'm going to choose randomly. You can use this with any percent. I'm going to choose 25%. So in order to go to a fraction, a percent is always out of 100. So if it's out of something, that's the whole. So we can always put 25, the percent, over 100. Then, of course, we want to make sure we reduce. So the fraction 25 over 100, we can divide numerator and denominator by 25, which would equal 1/4. So 25%, write your percent over 100 and reduce. There's your percent to a fraction. Percent to a decimal, let's again use 25%. Again, write as a fraction first, again 25 over 100, but now instead of reducing, actually divide. What is 20? Use your fraction bar as division. What is 25 divided by 100 is 0.25. There's your percent to a decimal. Write it as a fraction and divide. Then we have a fraction to a percent. So let's go to our fraction 1/4. So 1/4, let's write that as a decimal. Let's divide. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. We're then going to multiply that number by 100 since, again, a percent is out of 100, which will give us 25%. So your fraction, divide to create a decimal, and then multiply by 100 to get your percent. And a decimal to a percent, let's have our decimal now of 0.25. Similar to the last step, you can multiply any decimal by 100 to get the percent, since percent is always out of 100. So 0.25 is 25%. There's a reminder of each process. We can use this to help us solve certain problems. We can use it to order numbers at the very least. So here we want to order the numbers from least to greatest. The first thing you have to do is you want to have them all in the same form. So let's just turn them all into percents. You can have them all in decimals, fractions, percents. We're just using percents for this example. So 0.15 is a decimal. So you want to multiply that by 100 to get the percent. This is already a percent, 12.5%. 8 over 50, you want to turn into a decimal by dividing and then multiplying by 100. So this will give us 15% when we multiply by 100. 8 divided by 50 is 0.16, which we then is now a decimal, so we'll divide by 100. Will give us 16%. Let's move this over where we have a decimal. So again, like the first example, we'll multiply by 100 to get 0.095 times 100. We will get 9.5%. Now that they're all in percents, here again a little cleaner. We've got 15%, 12.5%, 16%, and 9.5%. We can now just least to greatest. 9.5%, 12.5%, 15%, 16%, and turn them back into their original forms. We have ordered from least to greatest 0.095, 12.5%, 0.15, and 8 over 50. So we can use these converting techniques to compare, at the very least, fractions, decimals, and percents. Express each decimal or percent as a fraction in lowest terms. So here, number 1, we have 18%. So 18%, always remember that a percent is out of 100, so we're going to create a denominator of 18 over 100, which can reduce if we divide both numerator and denominator by 2 to 9 over 50. Number 2, we have 0.85. This is a decimal. We want it written as a fraction. So we have 0.85 or 85 hundredths. So since it's to the hundredths place, we can write it over 100. It's 85 hundredths. And that can reduce if we divide by 5, both the numerator and the denominator, to get 17 over 20. Here we have 62 and 1/2%. Again, a percent can be written over 100. 0.5 is the same as 1/2, so we're making that decimal, 62.5 over 100, but we don't usually have decimals within fractions. So in order to get rid of the decimal, we're multiplying first top and bottom by 10 to get 625 over 1,000, which then we can divide by top and bottom by 125, and that would equal 5 over 8. So then we have number 4, 16 and 2/3%. So again, percent is out of 100. So we have 16 and 2/3 over 100. But again, we can't have a fraction within a fraction. So first we're changing the mixed number into an improper fraction, 50 over 3. We're then going to divide by 1/3 or multiply the top and bottom by 3 to have 50 over 300, which reduces to 1/6 when you divide both top and bottom by 50. Number 5, 5.008. So we have 5 and 8 thousandths, or 5 and 1 over 125 if we divide both top and bottom by 8. And 6, we have 0.0001 or 1/10,000, which is already in lowest terms. Here's 3 more. Let's now go backwards and try to express, given a fraction, let's go to a percent. So here, 18 over 50, a percent is always out of 100. So we can set up a proportion that 18 over 50, or here we're using common factors because we know we need to get to 100. So we're going to multiply the top and bottom by 2, which is where we're getting 36 over 100, or 36%. Here we have 8 over 900. So here, again, we want it to equal something over 100. So now they're using cross products, where they have 8 times 100 is 800 equals 900x. Divide both sides by 900 to get x equals 0.008 repeated, or 0.8 repeated percent. Here we have 4 and 2 7, so they're going to first they're just taking the 2 over 7 and having it equal x over 100. Then they're using cross products, so 2 times 100 will equal 7x, so 200 equals 7x. X would equal 28.57, but you have to be careful because there's the original 4. So it's almost like 428.6 repeat, or 0.6%. You have to put your 4 with the 28.57 that the fraction equals. You have to combine the two. So there's a lot of different scenarios where we have to use our tools and our tricks to kind of give us what we want in order to solve a problem.